Today is the deadline to register as a candidate for Athens City Council. Find out who is running and who is not. Just 1 week left until another potential government shutdown, and lawmakers haven't shown much progress. And in sports, the Ohio women's basketball team gears up to take on one of only 2 teams to defeat them this year. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Good evening, I'm Taylor Bruck. Thanks for joining us. Athens City Council will be receiving new members this November while other members leave. At-large Representative Patrick McGee will be leaving City Council. Elizabeth Clodfelter so far is the only person running for his spot. First Ward Representative Kent Butler will also be leaving. Samantha Miller and Arian Smedley are contending for the First Ward spot. All 3 women are running as Democrats for the May 7th primary election. The Athens Police Department is changing how they send out reports to the community. Nixle is the program the police department will use to send text, email reports, and alerts to anyone who signs up to receive them. To sign up for Nixle, go to the city's website and click the orange button at the top right side of the page. Then click the green button at the top of the page. You can sign up to receive alerts from up to 5 different area codes on Nixle. A man in Meigs County who died after being swept away by floodwaters yesterday has been identified. Meigs County Sheriff Keith Wood reports that the man has been identified as 54-year-old Lawton Templeton. According to the sheriff's office, Lawton's car apparently got stuck in the water, with Lawton being swept away while trying to exit the vehicle to get to land. The vehicle was towed away last night. Sheriff Wood wants drivers to remember that if they come upon a road covered in water, to turn around and not try to pass through.
Thanks, Taylor. From the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm Matt Thigpen. Across the region, we have been in cool temperatures. They're moving into the region throughout the day today, and you can just feel that breeze out there. Nice 10-mile-per-hour breeze coming out of the northwest. Right now in Newark, we see 20 degrees, 24 in Columbus, 26 in New Lexington, 29 down in Ripley and Marietta, and 30 down in Ironton right now. Seeing those clear skies dominating much of the region. Chilly and breezy, clear skies, and they'll continue to clear out. Tonight we have the observatory at Ohio University up at the ridges. So if you're looking for something to do tonight, bundle up and get up there. You'll be able to see the moon or any stars that there might be up there. They have tons of telescopes up there. So have at it tonight, and that starts at 8 p.m. tonight. Looking at our current hazards, speaking of the flooding, turn around, don't drown. That's what we want to stress as meteorologists. We want to make sure that you guys are all safe on all these roads. Right now we have all the green boxes that you see on your screen are flood warnings. So potentially areas in those counties will see flooding on major creeks, streams, and even rivers. Even the Hocking River on south of Ohio University in Athens is flooding currently right now. It's nearing moderate flood stage. So Taylor?
Thanks, Matt. A Lucasville, Ohio man has been indicted on 25 counts of falsification by a Scioto grand jury. 36-year-old Jerry Hayes is accused of issuing false training certificates to help people obtain concealed carry permits. Hayes allegedly charged as much as $75 for a certificate and spent just a few minutes with some recipients in a parking lot to train. As of now, Ohio law requires at least 8 hours of training before one is able to receive a concealed carry permit. A police officer in Akron was wounded last night during a SWAT standoff. Officers responded to a domestic violence call in Franklin Township around 7 p.m. before learning that a man had barricaded himself inside a bedroom, promoting a SWAT team to arrive 3 hours later. A SWAT officer from the Barberton Police Department was shot when the man fired a gun through the bedroom door around 3 a.m. The 12-year police veteran has serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Community members in Batavia, Ohio, are remembering a police officer who was killed in a standoff last week. A funeral for the 20-year veteran of the Clermont County Sheriff's Office was held earlier today. Bill Brewer was shot and killed in Pierce Township on February 2nd. He is survived by his wife and 5-year-old son. General Motors production plant in Youngstown, Ohio, is set to close for good soon. The community is helping workers to secure jobs for when that time comes. The plant has been steadily laying off shifts since 2017, with the last shift set to be laid off next month. In response, the Lordstown Regional Chamber, a local group aimed at providing economic development to the community, is helping those workers find jobs.
Our goal To keep those employees here. We want them to continue to live and work in the Mahoning Valley and in the region, so we want to make sure that they're aware of those opportunities.
As of now, the regional chamber has a list of over 100 job openings in the area. The list includes places similar to the General Motors plant, such as City Machine Technologies in Youngstown. Recruiters say they know the soon-to-be former GM employees have some very valuable skills. 6 people in the Cleveland area have been indicted in a $48 million Medicaid fraud scheme. 38-year-old Ryan Sheridan, who is well known locally for his luxurious car collection, was arrested Wednesday along with 5 others. Prosecutors say Sheridan, who is the sole owner of Breaking Point Recovery, is accused of charging Medicaid millions of dollars for services that weren't provided. The government is seeking $3 million in forfeited property. Almost 70 pounds of medical marijuana has been sold in Ohio since a number of dispensaries opened in mid-January. The total cost for the marijuana is around $500,000. However, less than 10 dispensaries have opened in the state so far, with over 50 granted licenses. People can purchase medical marijuana in the state by having one of 21 qualifying conditions. The Ohio Board of Pharmacy says 17,000 have received recommendations from their doctor already. Transportation officials in Ohio say the recent drastic changes in temperature have worsened potholes on roads in the state. So far this winter, Ohio Department of Transportation crews have used over 2,500 tons of asphalt to repair potholes, almost 400 more than this time last year. A Republican delegate in West Virginia is arguing that residents should have the freedom to fire or deny someone housing based on their sexual orientation. The Parkersburg News and Sentinel reports Delegate Eric Porterfield spoke out Wednesday in favor of a bill that could restrict what ordinances cities are allowed to adopt. The bill was proposed by Delegate Tom Biddy, a Republican delegate for Berkeley County. His city recently added LGBTQ discrimination protections to its code. Children in West Virginia are competing against each other to see who can create the best PSA to promote awareness of opioid abuse. The contest is being sponsored by the state's Attorney General's office. Students can work alone or in groups, with winners to be featured in local newspapers, as well as being displayed at the state capitol. Students are released early from a Baltimore high school after a staff member is shot. And in the U.S. government is only 1 week away from another potential shutdown. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
Well, if you love TVC basketball action as much as we do, well then we got the show for you, Hardwood Heroes. Come along with us as we will be breaking down all the action every week. It airs Sundays at 11 p.m. and again Mondays at 6 p.m. But remember, our coverage isn't just limited to the show. We have content being posted all week long on our Twitter, Facebook, and even Snapchat. We will also have written recaps posted on our webpage and video recaps on our YouTube channel. So check those out as well. And always remember to be heroic.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell its story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
A staff member at Frederick Douglass High School in Baltimore was shot earlier today by a man visiting the school. Baltimore police say the 25-year-old shooter was at the school attempting to confront someone in a meeting. Neither the staff member nor the shooter were immediately identified. The suspect is currently in police custody, with students released for the day to allow for a police investigation. With 1 week to avert another government shutdown, lawmakers tasked with coming up with a deal to keep things running have expressed optimism, but they haven't announced a firm plan and the clock is ticking. Karen Kaifa looks at the other shutdown timeliness. Congress and 800,000 federal workers will be eyeing closely over the next week.
Some optimism on Capitol Hill about avoiding another shutdown, but work still to be done.
I'm hopeful we'll come to a conclusion. We need to this weekend so we can vote next week.
Beyond if and when negotiators can reach a deal and how quickly Congress can pass it is the biggest question of all.
I'm absolutely confident that the members of the conference committee are going to come up with a good deal. The question is whether the president will go along with that.
Lead Senate Republican negotiator Richard Shelby visited President Trump on Thursday.
If we can work within some of the parameters that we've talked about today that we'll keep to ourselves right now, I think he would sign it.
Republicans have been willing to talk about numbers lower than the president's $5.7 billion request for border wall funding. Democrats have signaled flexibility on money for barriers. Other areas of negotiation include border personnel and detention beds. Republicans want more, Democrats less. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she's been taking a hands-off approach.
Just let them do their work, and hopefully that we'll get some good news in a short period of time, and certainly in time for the deadline.
While the border wall battle and Homeland Security spending have taken center stage, the stopgap measure that expires on February 15th is currently funding 9 of 15 federal departments with 800,000 employees. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Over 6,000 Ohio workers were without work during last month's federal government shutdown. Their future paychecks could be up in the air again if federal lawmakers can't come to an agreement. President Trump's former campaign advisor Roger Stone is asking the D.C. District Court not to place him under a gag order. Judge Amy Berman, who is also hearing former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort's case, is considering a gag order as Stone's case heads to trial. Stone's lawyers argue that he is not famous enough to influence the jury, comparing his thousands of social media followers to the millions of people like Kim Kardashian. He is being accused of lying about his attempts to reach WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks was in possession of stolen Democratic emails they were planning to publish. President Trump is spending part of his day at Walter Reed Military Hospital to undergo his second physical exam as president. Last year, Trump underwent not only the traditional checkup, but a cognitive exam as well. Last year, the White House physician said Trump passed the cognitive test with flying colors, but encouraged him to get on a diet, start exercising, and lose weight. More teens than ever are using e-cigarettes. We'll take a look at how parents are dealing with the new dangerous trend when Newswatch returns.
And after the break, we're going to take a look at my extended forecast, making a winter comeback, some pictures of local flooding, and our next chance for snow. But here's a look at stocks of local interest.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Well, if you love TVC basketball action as much as we do, well then we got the show for you. Hardwood Heroes. Come along with us as we will be breaking down all the action every week. It airs Sundays at 11 p.m. and again Mondays at 6 p.m. But remember, our coverage isn't just limited to the show. We have content being posted all week long on our Twitter, Facebook, and even Snapchat. We will also have written recaps posted on our webpage and video recaps on our YouTube channel. So check those out as well. And always remember to be heroic.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS. We're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
From the Newswatch Weather Center on the campus of Ohio University, I'm Matt Thigpen. Taking a look at our current flood warnings across our region, we have all the way from Columbus up towards the Hocking River down in Athens and all the way down towards Ironton and Pomeroy. We're seeing those flood warnings continue across much of the region. Now, if we take a look at conditions right now, we're sitting brisk at 27 degrees, chilly and breezy skies. Conditions out there, clearing skies, as we head into the evening, northwest wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look across the region, we're seeing 25 degrees in Chillicothe, 20 in our colder spot up in Newark and Cambridge, and 26 in New Lexington. And down there in Ironton and Jackson, we're having 30 degrees. Again, those skies are starting to clear out across most of the region. Here's some pictures of some local flooding that we saw yesterday in Logan, Ohio, thanks to Tyler McDaniel up near Enterprise, where we have that gauge up there. And taking a look here in Athens, we can see that flooding. This is the Richland Bridge right here, and the Convocation Center is over there, down here in Athens. And you can see it's almost to the very bottom of the bridge, and that's a pretty high bridge. So taking a look at our past rainfall, why are we having all this flooding? Well, you can see here, these bright colors are 5 inches of rain just in the past 7 days. You see these tan colors, 5 inches, and the 4 inches in the yellow, and then so on and so forth, 3 for the lighter greens, and the lighter greens you get into the 1 inch range. So we've seen a lot of rainfall, and what are we going to see now? We're going to see high pressure dominate for tonight with those chilly temperatures, continue to dominate for tomorrow, keep us dry. But Sunday, we got to watch out for this next weather maker. We might see some wintry precip as we head into the evening hours. We got to watch this front, see if it pulls any warm air back up north into our region for Sunday afternoon into the evening is our best chance to see that mixed precipitation. 34 in Athens for tomorrow, 32 in Chillicothe, 28 in Newark and Cambridge, 26 over in New Martinsville, 36 down in Ironton. So we'll be into the mid to upper 20s all the way up to 36 again. So it'll be quite warm. But for tonight, we're going to be chilly. 15 degrees in Newark, 13 in Cambridge. So we're back to winter. It's coming back with full punch. Now that we've had those warmer temperatures this week, we saw the groundhog predicted a little early spring, but now we're back to winter. So what's going on? 34 degrees for Saturday, sunny and dry, 18, chilly evening. And again, Sunday, we'll see that rain-snow mix move in. We'll see a high of 40 degrees. Taking a look at our extended forecast, to start off our next work week, we'll see 43 degrees. We'll see that rain-snow mix linger into Monday and even Tuesday. And by Wednesday, we see 50 degrees and rainy conditions. And on Valentine's Day, 42 degrees. Bright and sunny. Hopefully your heart will be bright and sunny and you will give flowers to anyone you can, whether that be a loved one or somebody just on the street. Buy some at Kroger. They're cheap and they're easy to get. Back to you, Taylor.
Thanks for that update, Matt. Officials say more teens than ever are vaping, but it can be hard for parents to know if their kids are doing it. Some are turning to tests that promise to detect it. Linda Stouffer has the story.
Vaping can deliver nicotine to your brain, reprogramming you to crave more and more.
Addictive nicotine shoots up to a kid's brain in seconds, says Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Federal health officials are showing the costs of what they call a teenage vaping epidemic. Doctors say nicotine can spike heart rates, blood pressure, and affect memory. And vapes push chemicals into their lungs.
It's hidden from me, but I'm a mini detective too as a mother.
Mom Diane Katani came to this lab on Peachtree Street to learn about vaping tests for her kids.
So if someone is using nicotine, we can test their urine, hair, blood.
Local company Any Lab Test Now offers tests from $70 up to $120 looking for exposure to nicotine. The lab manager told us testing hair could cover several months.
Hair, we can go back to 90 days, and that's because we're taking the follicle.
You have a responsibility. There's always that fine line of being the controlling parent, but we have a responsibility to educate our kids and to know.
Or search nicotine test on Amazon. You'll find dozens of home tests for parents who often don't know if their kids even have vapes, since they look like electronics or flash drives, some promising as much nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. At the testing lab, they're seeing concerned parents of kids as young as 12.
Usually a lot of high school students, even now middle school, it's just not that uncommon anymore.
There are a couple of caveats about these tests, however. Kids that have chewed nicotine gum or breathed in secondhand smoke can return positive results. Also, not all vapes contain nicotine, and those which don't won't show up on a test.
All right, hi everyone, I am Nick Ursini. The Ohio men's basketball team is trying to get back in the win column tomorrow against Miami. And the Ohio women's team is trying to seek revenge against Central Michigan, this time in Mount Pleasant. That preview and more when Newswatch returns. And stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
Well, if you love TVC basketball action as much as we do, well then we got the show for you. Hardwood Heroes. Come along with us as we will be breaking down all the action every week. It airs Sundays at 11 p.m. and again Mondays at 6 p.m. But remember, our coverage isn't just limited to the show. We have content being posted all week long on our Twitter, Facebook, and even Snapchat. We will also have written recaps posted on our webpage and video recaps on our YouTube channel. So check those out as well. And always remember to be heroic.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome back, I'm Nick Ursini. The first Battle of the Bricks matchup in 2019 between Ohio and Miami is going down tomorrow afternoon in Oxford. The 11-10 Ohio Bobcats are coming off a 65-53 loss against Akron on February 2nd. Miami enters this game with an overall record of 12-11 and 4-6 in the MAC. The Red Hawks are averaging 66 points per game and is shooting 42% from the field. Now, the last time these two teams met was in the first round of the MAC tournament, and Miami took that one 68-55. Miami's coming off a road loss to Kent State 70-67 on Tuesday, and the tip for that one is set for 2 p.m. After a 3-game homestead, the Ohio women's basketball team makes the trek north to face Central Michigan. The Chippewas bested the Bobcats 88-70 earlier in the season, and that was Ohio's first loss of the year. Central Michigan is now 16-5 overall and 7-2 in the MAC. Central Michigan's conference losses are to Toledo and Miami. The Chippewas earned a big victory over 24th-ranked Miami Hurricanes earlier in the season. Central Michigan has the 23rd ranked offense in the country. It is going to be a good one in Mount Pleasant tomorrow. Tip for that one, 1 p.m. The Ohio wrestling team looks to continue its winning ways as it closes out the 2018-2019 home schedule with 2 matchups against Old Dominion today and SIUE tomorrow. This will conclude the program's 100th anniversary this weekend. Ohio also is set to honor their seniors for Senior Day. 8 Bobcats will be recognized. The Bobcats enter this weekend's matching have won 3 straight MAC matches. The last time the Bobcats hit the mat was Sunday with a 19-15 victory over Central Michigan at home, and Ohio is 2-1 for the season. The Ohio track and field team will hit the road for their 6th meet of the 2019 indoor season this weekend. The Bobcats travel up to Kent to compete in the Kent State qualifier. Competition began today with field events and running events. Some teams the Bobcats are facing off against include Ashland, Duquesne, Pittsburgh, and Youngstown State. The Bobcats have one last meet before the MAC championships. That's next weekend, the Buckeye Tune-Up meet in Columbus. Under first-year head coach Kenzie Rourke, the Ohio softball team opened up their 46th season in Kennesaw, Georgia to participate in the Phyllis Rafter Memorial Tournament. The Bobcats won Game 1 versus Eastern Michigan in a nail-biter, 9-8. The Bobcats could not complete the sweep on the day with a loss to Chattanooga 6-3. Ohio returns to the Diamond tomorrow to face Morehead State at 12:30 and Kennesaw State at 5:30. Then they conclude the weekend with another game versus Eastern Illinois at 12:30. There is a huge slate of TVC boys basketball tonight. One of the biggest games of the year, the Megs Marauders travel to the Plains to face top seed Athens. Eastern and Waterford renew their rivalry in Waterford. Alexander visits Wellston. Kip Academy comes down from Columbus to MacArthur to face the Vinton County Vikings. And River Valley goes to face the Nelsonville York Buckeyes. Catch all the recaps and highlights at WOUB.org and tune in on Sunday night at 11 p.m. for episode 5 of Hardwood Heroes. All right, that is a wrap for me and for sports tonight. I'm Nick Orsini. Taylor, back over to you.
Thank you, Nick. A New York pit bull may have saved her human family's life. The 11-year-old dog named Sadie first attempted to escape from her house's front door before succeeding through the back door after smelling a gas leak. Her family says Sadie usually doesn't leave the house. The dog found a Tuckahoe County police officer who she led back to the home where the gas leak was then patched. The family believes Sadie knows she saved the day, calling her a, quote, real hero. We'll head over to Matt for a final look at the weather.
Thanks, Taylor. Taking a look one more time at our extended forecast. 34 on Saturday, bright and sunny skies. We finally get a dry day, so those river levels will start to fall as we head into our Saturday, and those flood warnings should fall off again tomorrow afternoon. 40 on Sunday, 60% chance of a mixed precip after 4 p.m. on Sunday, so your early morning precip doesn't look too bad, but we wrap up warming up by Tuesday and Valentine's Day looking at 42 and sunny skies. Taylor?
Thank you. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Taylor Brook. Stay tuned from the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.